When we're talking about tourism here on the Town Hall, as we often do, it's usually about what outsiders think of our area. Things like big travel pieces in magazines and blogs, high rankings in national lists, and glowing reviews from high-profile visitors. We've had a lot of that, right? Well, it turns out, though, one of our best assets in Western New York in the tourism industry is Western New Yorkers. Visit Buffalo Niagara just shared the results of the resident sentiment survey that it commissioned, which found big support for welcoming tourists. It's a sentiment that has actually grown in the last 2 years during the pandemic. And joining me live here to talk about it and why this is significant is Patrick Kaler, President and CEO of Visit Buffalo Niagara. Great to have you in studio. We were saying these Zoom interviews just don't get it done, right?
Exactly.
I want to ask you about what you found here. I mean, I guess it's not necessarily surprising to us that Western New Yorkers like welcoming tourists here, right? We know how important it is to our economy. But anything in this survey that really stood out to you or surprised you?
Sure. Well, it was actually very reaffirming to everything that we've been doing over the last few years. And typically our job is to bring outsiders in to our destination, but the pandemic gave us the opportunity to actually speak to our residents. And so with our strategic plan this year, it was our decision to do a resident sentiment to make sure that the residents like what we're doing as an organization, that tourism does have a good positive impact, and then what they would like to see in the future. And so we got some really good results that were above the national average, actually.
So you do this survey, right? You get these results. What happens now, and how do you kind of factor that in as you have sort of a long-term strategic plan, right? And you go out and you market this region to all the tourists that we hope come here. How does this factor in?
Absolutely. So we continue to do more outreach to our locals as well, keeping them involved in what we're doing through our social media efforts, our mobile visitor center unit, and then actually using our residents to help bring meetings and conventions and sporting events through our Bring It Home campaign. But just keeping everybody involved and engaged. Also, over the next 10 years, we're also doing a tourism master plan, implementing the results of that and looking at how we want to continue to grow our overall product as a destination, while also including the residents and what they would like to see in their community. Because like you said, they are our best ambassadors to talk about Buffalo. There's so much civic pride from our residents.
And you know, that's not the case everywhere. I think about like the reporting I've seen, for instance, in Venice, Italy, right? They're saying no more tourists. We don't want you here. They've got some ecological issues that they're dealing with. So there are some places where the locals don't want to be overrun, or cities that are growing so fast that they just can't deal with it. It seems like we, on the other hand, are sort of poised to be able to take advantage of this.
Absolutely. One of my previous jobs was as president and CEO of Lake Tahoe. And tourism is the #1 industry in Tahoe, but the residents hate it because you have all of these tourists coming in, impeding their ability to move about the town, go to restaurants. But in Buffalo, we don't have over-tourism, which is great at this point. It would be interesting if we ever got to that point.
Yeah.
But right now, you know, we are still a very welcoming community, and it's an opportunity for, again, our residents to say, here is what we would like to do to enhance our experience while also welcoming more visitors to our destination.
You mentioned a moment ago the convention center. I wonder how that's going. I mean, I know you've told me multiple times, coming out of the pandemic, this is a long slog, right? Getting back. Some things come back quickly. I mean, air travel, you look at it now, I mean, we don't even have enough pilots to deal with who wants to fly now. Right. But some things take longer, and part of that, right, is conventions and these big events.
Exactly.
What is the kind of status update on that?
Right. So the plan, or not the plan, the statistics were telling us that meetings and conventions would not come back to 2019 levels until probably 2024, 25. And pretty much we are on pace for that right now. We are actually booking more business 25, 27, and 28, which is really encouraging for our future, as well as the possibility of hopefully a new convention center down the road, which is exactly something that the residents said they would like to see, is a new convention center, because they understand the economic implications that the convention center has on our destination.
Yeah, and in the meantime, you were able to do some renovations at the current place and get it where it needed to be. A lot to this, and tourism is so important to our region. So thanks so much for coming in and helping us understand this. Patrick Kaler is President and CEO of Visit Buffalo Niagara. Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you.